Knicks have been in that situation where they've had that margin for error, right? You look at the Clippers and you say, damn.
How many years has it been now? 6? Maybe 7? At this point, it's hard to keep track. The Los Angeles Clippers project, once considered a sure thing, a super team destined for rings, has turned into one of the most underwhelming franchise efforts in recent NBA memory. The disaster from Game 7 blowout at the hands of the Denver Nuggets was utterly disappointing. It was a Game 7, a fight for survival, a battle to the end. But it turned into a rout so one-sided, fans were left speechless. And now, the questions are loud, piercing, and impossible to ignore. Who's to blame? James Harden, the ultimate playoff ghost? Tyronn Lue, whose tactical adjustments seem to vanish under pressure? Kawhi Leonard, whose greatness always comes with an asterisk of injury? Or maybe it's not one name. Maybe the entire Clippers machine simply collapsed, again, under the weight of its own hype. Since the summer of 2019, when Kawhi Leonard shocked the league by choosing the Clippers over the Lakers and bringing Paul George along for the ride, expectations have been sky high. They were supposed to be the antidote to the super team fatigue, a rugged, defensive-minded force built for postseason success. But fast forward to today, and what's the result? One Western Conference Finals appearance in 6 years, and not a single finals trip to show for all the talent and investment. Saturday night in Denver was supposed to be different. It was a Game 7. Winner takes all. Legacies on the line. And yet, the Clippers didn't just lose, they got embarrassed. 120-101. But it felt much worse. They were lifeless, uninspired, outcoached, and outclassed from the opening tip. For fans who have suffered through this era of near misses and what-ifs, this was the final straw. Naturally, the spotlight immediately turned to the two stars at the heart of it all, Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. Ty Lue, to his credit, wasn't running from the moment. In his post-game remarks, he remained adamant that this duo, if given a full season, could be tremendous. But at this point, it's hard to tell whether that's genuine belief or just a coach trying to hold the ship together as it lists dangerously to one side. James Harden, despite a strong regular season where he averaged nearly 23 points and almost 9 assists across 79 games, once again shrank under the postseason lights. His performance in Game 7? 7 points on 2 of 8 shooting, a painful echo of the numerous playoff collapses that have plagued his otherwise remarkable career. This isn't just an off night. Harden's Game 7 resume is riddled with underwhelming efforts. His shooting average in Game 7s is a dismal 36%. The numbers don't lie. They say the painful truth out loud. And then there's Kawhi, the Claw, a 2-time Finals MVP known for his stoic dominance. He scored 22 points and had a solid shooting night. But let's not pretend that's enough. Not when you're supposed to be the franchise savior. Not when the entire system is built around your presence. But as has become a recurring theme, Leonard's health, or lack thereof, once again loomed over everything. He played just 37 regular season games this year. In 6 seasons with the Clippers, he's missed an astounding number of games, including the entire 2021-22 season. And when it matters most, his body continues to betray him. It's not about whether he's talented, it's about whether he's available. And the answer, more often than not, is no. Still, Ty Lue seems committed to the idea of running it back. Or maybe he doesn't have a choice. Because let's face it, the Clippers' options are limited. Their draft capital's depleted, they don't control a first-round pick until 2030, the cap space is non-existent. They're locked into this core whether they like it or not. So when Lue says he believes in Harden and Leonard, maybe it's less about conviction and more about survival. Let's take a cold, hard look at Kawhi Leonard's Clippers resume. 2020, eliminated in the second round. 2021, Western Conference Finals, but he got hurt. 2022, missed the entire season. 2023, out in the first round. 2024, out in the first round. 2025, out in the first round again. It's a pattern, a painful one. And the 2021 run, arguably their best shot, ended in yet another injury. So when does it end? When does the franchise finally say enough is enough? On the sidelines, fans are already speaking, and loudly. The backlash against Tyronn Lue has been swift and ruthless. Social media erupted after the Game 7 loss, and the sentiment was brutally clear. Fire Ty Lue was trending. He's still living off that 2016 Cavaliers ring, wrote one fan. Another joked, pack your bags, Ty. The only thing you've led lately is a disappointment parade. And these are some of the millions comments on social media. They're tired. Tired of the promises. Tired of the rotations that make no sense. Tired of a team that folds in the biggest moments. And yet, this isn't new. Ty Lue has faced this criticism before, only to somehow stay in the mix. Since taking over in the 2020-21 season, he's led the Clippers to a 234-166 record. Respectable on paper, but when the ultimate goal is a championship and the closest you get is losing to the Suns in the West Finals, numbers begin to lose their meaning. What's the value of 50 wins if they don't translate into playoff success? To be fair, Lue isn't the only problem. The entire team looked lost in Game 7. There was no urgency, no fire, no adjustments. They were flat from the start, like a team resigned to its fate before the opening tip. And that's not just on the coach, it's on the locker room. Leadership is missing. The kind of voice that pulls a team together when things get ugly. The Clippers don't have that. Kawhi is quiet. Harden's history speaks for itself. Paul George, once considered the perfect co-star, wasn't even on the court. The team looks like a collection of individual talents that have never quite figured out how to function as one. And so we find ourselves here again, back in the same tired conversation. What now? Do the Clippers blow it all up? Try again? Hope that next year will be different despite all the evidence suggesting otherwise? The harsh reality is that they don't have many cards left to play. They gambled everything on this core, and now they're boxed in, financially, emotionally, and strategically. This wasn't just a loss, it was a referendum. On a failed era, on a flawed roster, on a franchise that's been chasing relevance for over a decade and continues to fall short. The Clippers have become the cautionary tale of modern NBA team building. Flashy names, big moves, all the headlines, and nothing to show for it when the confetti falls. And for the fans, the ones who believed, who bought the jerseys, filled the seats, stuck by the team through all the heartbreaks, they deserve better. Because at this point, it's not just about losing. It's about the apathy, the repeated lack of fight when it matters most. Game 7 wasn't a war, it was a walkover. And that, more than anything, should set off alarm bells across the entire organization. So here we are, watching the collapse of something that never fully stood up to begin with. The season is over. The roster is aging. The draft cupboard is bare. The coach is under fire. And the stars? They're either fading or faltering. Something has to change. Because this version of the Los Angeles Clippers isn't just disappointing, it's broken. And let's not forget Westbrook.
Gordon's got 20. Fourth. Look out below. There he goes again.
You can't even imagine having the confidence that Russell Westbrook possesses because you have a cold take on your X account and you crawl into a hole. You can't tuck your tail and apologize because that's admitting you were wrong. You can't do that.
What do you think? Is it finally time for the Clippers to blow it all up and start fresh? Or will we see yet another offseason of hope, followed by the same familiar heartbreak next spring? Let us know what you think down below, and while you're at it, hit that like button and subscribe to us for more NBA content.